onwards now to the next part. I hope you are still on the train, because now we need to talk about phraseology for VFR. So what did we learn so far? The rules of the VFR flight, including that they're subject to control and you tell them what to do. And that you need to provide traffic information service, which we also established is the most important thing when dealing with VFR, because there's no separation provided. We define the structure of the procedures and instructions by understanding there's a fundamental basis that you always give, which is the general clearance limit, and from there on, instruction. We also learned that the trick is that these instructions have endless possibilities and it's up to you to keep giving them new instructions that fit with yours and their plans until you can terminate your relationship with them when they leave your control zone or they land the airplane. We talked about the information service because of how important it is. Learning that you must lay down the road for the pilots, always informing him of everything relevant that goes on around him, whether it's an approach or a departure or other stuff in the zone that may intercept his path. Good. Now we need to dig into phraseology. So we're moving more and more into a practical side of this. We will return to both procedures and information, and now we're going to put them into words, so to speak. So, as I've said a million times, there are endless kind of instructions you can give the pilot. Fly right downwind, leave control zone via, stay to the west of control zone, abort approach and rejoin downwind, stay east of the center line, and so on. Now, of all these, there are a few that you do need to learn by heart, because they do contain specific phraseology that you must adhere to, as published in the law documents that we will now go through one by one. Let's start with the general one that you probably know already because we covered it in several lessons before. How you can short the call sign. When he calls up, he must always say his full call sign, Oscar Yankee Papa Papa Yankee, to which you may choose the full call sign, or alternatively the first and the last two, or the first and the last three. The pilot should always respond with either the full call sign or the call sign that you are shortening. This is per ATS instruction 14.2.14, and that's containing call signs for aircraft that can be used. Take a look at this. Let's start with phraseology in the departure phrase. From departure we said Oscar Yankee Papa Papa Yankee. After departure, right turn out, leave control zone via VATSIM-Spec 1,500 feet or below. This is from Appendix A, point 121. This is even under the same part as ATC clearances, which is in point F. It states the way to say it: leave controlled airspace or control zone. Here we use control zone via, and then the significant point of route, which is VATSIM-Spec at the level 1,500 feet or below. And you can say climbing to, descending to. There shall be none. This is for the case of VFR entering the approach airspace after departure, and that's for the next lesson. The after departure right turn out, that's all the way down in point 131, containing departure instructions. Remember, no naughty use of the word takeoff. It must be departure. It also states that you must say right turn out if that is indeed needed. You can choose to say left turn or climbed, but it's not required. Then when they come in, it's the same. Oscar Yankee, Papa Papa Yankee, into control zone via Tuborg 1,500 feet below, join right base for runway 2 to left. Again, back to point 121. That has the same structure, except we move one up here to point echo and say enter instead of leave. Not too difficult. The join, left or right, downwind, base, whatever, runway, whatever, this is down in point 1413, which actually specifically deals in entering an aerodrome traffic circuit. The one to look at in this relatively complex part is point F, right there, join, position in circuit. So that would be right base in this sentence. Could be anything. Runway, 2 to left, QNH or QB, the number. Oh yes. QNH must be given to the pilot, so don't forget that. It's stated in Doc 4444.74123. Prior to entering the traffic circuit or commencing its approach to land, an aircraft shall be provided with the following elements of information, and there is QNH. The traffic detail you can add, but if there's no immediate traffic, then it's a recommendation to just leave it out until you are closer so you can avoid too complex of an instruction. Jumping right below to point 1414, it's called in the circuit. This is where your point B specifies number, whatever you are, number 2, follow, and then the airplane to follow. Other options are general traffic information by saying traffic, the 737 on 4 mile final, as well as asking them to report a specific place in the circuit by saying report and then whatever they need to report. In this case, report base. Now let's jump to traffic information. This one is interesting. Know that there are two types of traffic information structures that you need to learn. This is mainly what there is. Papa Papa Yankee, traffic is. Papa Papa Yankee, no reported traffic. Papa Papa Yankee, additional traffic. This is for when he needs several informations. And then, another thing we've not talked about yet is when you need to delay the VFR flights in the circuit. These are strong phrases to know. Sometimes there's just too much traffic to deal with, and you need them to do something specific for delaying purposes. Here there are actually standard phraseology examples. How you use them we'll talk about later, but these are the delay procedures in phraseology. Orbit left to right, for when you want him to fly around himself. A very effective way of delaying a VFR without having him flying too far away. You can specify at present position. And note you can also specify number of orbits if you like. Orbit right one time, then continue his pattern, or orbit right until advice. It's up to you as long as the orbit left or orbit right is honored. If you need him to abort the approach, then there's a standard phrase called make another circuit. That means to abort the approach and do another complete circuit. This is normally used with other phrases such as abort the approach, make another circuit, or go around and make another circuit. A go around would only be instructed to an airplane on final though. The last one is circle the aerodrome, which is not used often because that's quite inconvenient. But the important part here is the word circle. This is the standard phrase, and consider that you can ask a pilot to circle elsewhere. Circle the Bridge, circle around Tuborg reporting point, circle to the west of the airport. It's still not often used, but it's there, and it can be very effective instructions if you want the VFR to wait due to a lot of inbound IFR traffic. So to summarize, it's circle the whatever, orbit left right, make another circuit. These are the three delay standard phrases. Lastly, there's just one more thing which has to do with VFR. When landing, you know the standard phrase, runway so-and-so, clear to land. But remember, it's cleared no matter what they do. If you don't believe me, just see point 1416. It can also be clear touch and go, cleared low approach, cleared low pass. It's all cleared. Remember that. Other than that, everything you say is outside standard phraseology and you can structure it exactly as you want. My best advice is again, be precise, be specific, be understandable, and be confident and in control. That's it. We now cover these three subjects and then we need to manage it in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.